Hey YouTube, Zuko and Shinobi here with a review of the S.H.Figuarts Kamen Rider Ouja from Kamen Rider Ryuki. Some of you may know him as Kamen Rider Strike from Dragon Knight. However, this is the Japanese Ryuki release, so he is Kamen Rider Ouja, not Strike. They're different people. The Figma is Strike, this is Ouja. So anyway, we have me bumping the camera. We have Master Rider Ouja down here in a nice purple chrome, Ouja's picture. They did a really good job on shrinking down the Knight and Ryuki boxes to an individual size. So they did a really good job on that. You have sword vent and ad vent, since that's all he comes with. And that's all he really ever used. So there is that. A really nice box. I do like it. So here we have Ouja. He's done in a very nice purple. It's a nice blend. It's lighter than the Figma release, which I'll compare it to in a second. But it's a nice chrome finish. Not really chrome, but kind of the same style as a lot of the newer figure. It's a nice little metallic-y color, and just overall, it's just really, really nicely done. So here's his head sculpt. It's hard to see if there's any compound eyes underneath there, but it does look like it's a nice deep purple plastic on the eyes. It might just be an illusion or something, but it does look like it's separate plastic that is a nice little deep black purple color. So that's really nice, but the head sculpt is really well done. This armor piece kind of functions on its own, so it's all sorts of maneuverable. And then you have the midriff section right here. So you've got a full range of motion there. The advent deck, as you can see right there, is really nicely sculpted and used the same purple. That does pop right out. This one holds a lot tighter than Knight does for me. But yeah, his articulation can get hindered by the armor, but because of the way that the armor is separated, it does allow a lot of movement, so you can actually get a full upward range without any sort of hindrance. Now, he can't do like an Uchu-kita pose. Actually, he can, because Uchu-kita pose has your arms spread out. So he can Uchu-kita, if that's important to people. That's a new way of grading figure arts, is their ability to Uchu-kita. Because at Rock Bison, he can't Uchu-kita well. But anyway. Randomness aside, you have the double joint right here at the elbows. Double joint right there at the knee. The feet are die-cast using the die-cast joint right there. But lots of movement as always, and then the hips that all of the Ryuki have been using, which is a really nice hip style that offers quite a large range of motion. So I do like that hip style, even though it does reveal the joint right there. That's a little bit of a disappointment, but that's really the only downside to that hip style, is the fact that that joint's exposed right there. So let's go ahead and show off his accessories, get him in a pose, and then compare him with Figma Strike, just because I have it and can do it. So he comes with the Venovisor, which is his Jafar weapon, making him Kamen Rider Jafar from Disney's Kamen Rider Aladdin. Great movie. But an advent card of any sort can fit in here, and just like so, you just place it in there, and then it's whatever vent I used. I wasn't paying attention. It's green, whatever it is. There we go. So obviously, that's really nicely done. I do like just the way that the snake looks on here. I think it's really, really cool. Really nice. I just like the fact that these open too. That's always really cool. So he comes with copy vent. I think this is copy vent. Steel vent. It's horrible. I can actually read the card. So steel vent. His final vent. Sword vent. These are going to be upside down, but deal with it. His advent, I believe, is what this one is. Yep. Venosnaker. It's sword vent, I did that one already. Then two blank cards. Because for some of you that haven't seen Ryuki, spoiler alert, skip about 10 seconds ahead. He steals Raya and Guy's Advent Monsters, so he comes with 2 blank contract cards. So that's neat. And then, of course, he comes with the Venosaber, his basically spiral saber-like weapon. That does look pretty nice. The gold used matches the gold here on Ouja really well. And they were really good at being really consistent with colors for Ouja's release. So I'm really glad about that. And he comes with 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 hands. 12 hands. I guess they're like, oh, we didn't pack Venosnaker with him. Let's pack him with 12 hands instead. So he's got a left and right kind of just relaxed, splayed open hand. You have a left and right kind of relaxed, not splayed open hand. You have a right weird pose hand that I drop. But he's got the 2 fingers jettisoning outwards. You have another weird pose hand that really isn't too different than the splayed open together hand, but whatever, that's also right. A left and right advent card holding hand, so you just take a card and just kind of squeeze in between his fingers right there, just like so. A left and right weapon holding hand that I drop as well. And then a left and right weapon holding hand that has the grip on a slight slant, because that's important for things. So you have all these different little combinations of things that you can do. So I'm going to pose them with both weapons just because that's how I have my Figma strike posed, and I really like that pose. So you can swing this up and pretty close to over his shoulder. That's actually a really nice job. And thanks to the head joint, you can get a nice little cracking neck tilt. In fact, even better than the Figma. And then this just on a slight little curve, I guess. I don't really know what to do with this hand, but just something like that is very Ouja. That's so Ouja. It's the future he can see. That's so Ouja. It's so mysterious to me. Yeah. So, anyway, let's go ahead and bring in Figma Strike and do a little quick comparison. So just to make things funny, let's tilt the Venovisor that way. Bringing the Figma, we have twins, folks. I honestly like the Figuart more, just because, well, the Figuart joint system I just like better than the Figma. Yeah, the Figma hides the joints a lot better, but the armor's all one piece, so you don't get the pliable motion that the Figuart has. And I just like the metallic-y purple color that the Figuart used as opposed to the Figma. But as you can see, they both have a very similar range of motion, so really you aren't missing out too much if you bought the Figma and don't get the Figuart, because it really is close to the same figure. But overall, I just like the Figuart more because the Venovisor does open up. The Venosaber does kind of look a little bit better to me. And like I said before, I just really like that the purple that they used, and I like the fact that the Advent deck does come out. But really similar figures, particularly because this release doesn't come with Venosnaker. For people that already own the Figma, there really isn't too much of a reason to get this. So really, it's all of a matter of opinion. As far as recommendation goes, I recommend it because, one, Ouja is a very prominent character in Ryuki, and one that's very important to the overall storyline. And, well, he's Ouja. There really isn't too much else to say besides that. Yeah, it is really disappointing that they didn't include the Venosnaker, because, I mean, really, the rider being packed with a contract monster was really the sole push behind these figures to me over the Figmas. But regardless of that, he's a great figure. I think the purple used is nice. The sculpt is nice. There are some visible joint issues that I have, particularly with the hips on these figures. But outside of that, it's a great figure, and I do definitely recommend it to Ouja and Ryuki fans that haven't picked up the Figma, and even if you have, I still think it's a pretty nice buy. So you can check out shukinshobi.com for latest updates on my reviews, and of course check out Riders, Rangers, and Rambles.com, bringing the latest token news in the craziest way possible. So take care and have a great one. Bye.